Hello, image editing, class 204-100 for the fall 2012. What I'm going to show you is a quick way to do our learning plan 1 assessment where we're going to create an avatar face. So the first thing is you want to come up with an image, your own image or a non-copyrighted image that you can manipulate. I'm going to come over here to where it says background, and I'm going to right click and duplicate the layer. And I'll call that my face, and space there. Let's go boom, and then from there I want to go to the liquify tool. The liquify filter is under the filters up here at the top. I'm going to come down to liquify and select that, and you see it brings it into this new image as showed in Deke's tutorials. I'm going to make my glasses bigger. I have a larger brush size. My brush size is set at 150. You can make your brush size whatever you want to use, but the larger brush size is getting my whole eye and glasses in here. So I'm just playing around, blowing up my eyes, having some fun with that. And this one made a little bit bigger. See how that's looking? Yes, that one. So I'll do Command Z. I can kind of change that last step I want to do there. Kind of blur it out a little bit, but you know, good for the exercise. I think I'll go with this. And I'm going to go use this tool here. So I was using this tool, bloat tool. I'm going to come up here to pucker tool, and I'm going to shrink in my mouth area. And then I'm going to come up here to this push tool, forward warp tool. It looks like a push icon, and I'm going to drag my chin down, get a Jay Leno look going on. Maybe pull up my hair a little bit. So you have fun with this part. You know, this exercise is to kind of learn some of these tools and have fun with different elements of it. Yeah, I'll go with that. So I'm going to say OK. So I have this layer. Now this is what I'm going to show you that's different than what Deke did. I'm going to show you how to create a mask, a selection. In the Deke one, we went into selection, select color range, and kind of select it in here. And it can turn the fuzziness up, you can turn it down. Actually, it's doing pretty good on the selection there by going here, but I'm picking up background elements and I'm picking up other things that I don't want to right now. So I'm gonna stop this. I'm not gonna go this way for this approach, but this is how they showed us in Deke. There is another way. Everything's selected. I can go to select, deselect here, and that's also, I'm using a Mac, it's Command D, but if you're using the PC, it's Control D will let you deselect. So what I'm going to do is come down here underneath our swatches, and underneath here I'm going to select this one is Edit in Quick Mask Mode. This icon down here right below the swatches. Edit in Quick Mask Mode. I'm going to double click it, and what I want to do, you're going to come to this dialog. So I want the color to be red, so when I start painting with this, which you'll see in a moment, I want it to be this red so I can see what I'm painting. It's different from the colors that are on my face. But I want to select, change from masked areas to selected areas. So I'm going to do that. So the default is at masked areas. We want to choose selected areas. Then I'll hit OK. And this is selected. So I'm going to use my brush tool. And again, I can use Command plus from what Deke showed us in the tutorials to blow this up. I could make my brush a little bigger. I'm going to use to the right of the P key. I'm going to use the brackets, so this will help as I'm doing this painting. So as I start to paint, you see this red that is showing up, and what I'm doing is just going to outline my face area. See how that's working? I'm going around. I'm going to use those bracket tools. I can make my brush smaller to go in here. Come around this side. And I made a little mistake. I'll do Command Z. Come back around here. I'm using a mouse. We have a Wacom tablet. You can get a little more control. So I got a little tight area here, so I'm going to make my brush a little smaller by using those brackets. Come in here. You can go smaller with the brush. I could even zoom in a little tighter if I want to. Then I come into this area here. I can make it a little larger. Following the contour of the face. So I'm coming along here. Going there. Oh, outside there. Command Z. So it's a little tricky with the mouse more than the other, but so this is just an alternative way of making a selection. So I'm going to go through here. What I'm doing is painting the outside. Then I'm going to use my paint bucket to fill in all the space in between what I'm painting here. So I don't have to paint the whole thing with my brush. Get these small areas. So again, I'm using my brackets to get that corner of my ear back in here. Here. Now that I'm in tight, if I use my space bar, it'll enable me to pan up, get that little hand icon. As soon as I let go of it, I'm back on the paintbrush mode. Paintbrush tool. So I'll come in here. So it might take a little bit longer. I'm going to do a Command Z on that. If you're doing this, I'm going to try to be precise as I can, but I also want to make this tutorial fast. I know it's a little late coming. I didn't hear many responses of people having too much trouble doing this, but this is another thing you could put into your arsenal, whether you use it for this project or future projects. So we got here. So I got to pretty much cover my face, the outside contours of the face. So I'm going to come over to my paint bucket, and if you don't have it, the default is the gradient tool. Inside the gradient tool is where our paint bucket tool is. So at the paint bucket, and I'm going to click in here, paint. Now, because I was painting with a brush, I'm getting this soft edge between where the paint bucket painted and there. So I'm going to switch real quick from my brush tool to my pencil tool. My pencil tool is a tool that will have a hard edge, and as I go over this, it will just take out that little line. So I'm careful to stay on my face as I go around here. Again, I'm using the space bar to get that hand. Coming up here, might want to just make that a little smaller as I get in this little area here by using those brackets. Coming around here. And, let's come up here and just whoop, get that, get there and there. So now I'm all red faced there. So what this red face is going to be my selection. So it's got it pretty much covered in all those areas I want to turn blue on my face or whatever color I'm going to want to choose to be. So I'll come back over here to when it was unselected, it was use quick mask mode. Now it's edit in standard mode. So it's edit in quick mask mode, and initially, but because it's depressed, I'm gonna unpress it and edit in standard mode, and you're gonna see the marquee selection lines come up. So here they are. I have one little dabber here. So what I'm gonna do is come back to this mode, and I'm gonna paint that out, that little piece out that I saw. So I'm gonna come back, kind of look at my image. Got everything pretty well selected. I'm looking at it. Yeah, pretty good. So now I'm going to come over to what Deke showed us as I select here. This is all selected. So, and he was doing the selection by using the select color range. In this case, I did it with that quick selection tool, quick mask tool. Let's see what they're calling it. Edit in quick mask mode. So I'm over here in my face, and I want to go to my adjustment layer. If you don't know how to do this, you can go up here to Window, Adjustments, and I want to use the Hue Saturation Adjustment. So I'm going to select that. It created a mask of my face area, and so now as I adjust the color, Mr. Blueface, I come in here like that. My eyes did get a little washed out, a little green, a little purple, blue. Can go in here. Let's maybe turn the intensity up a little down. And go right there. So I'm looking at it. Yeah, it looks pretty good for what we're doing for and experimenting with this. So I'm going to do a Control or Command negative to zoom out a little bit. Take a look. And yeah, that should work. I could go more of the blue look in there. Yeah, good. So really, this is all we need for our assignment. But if I wanted to do more, I could try to use that mask select to select out this background and add a new background to my image. Way I could do that is to come back to my face, come back to this quick selection tool, and I'll zoom in again by hitting the Command plus, and I'm going to paint outside of my hair here. And it gets a little tricky when you're dealing with hair and how much of that to get when we're doing something like this, but I'll just do the best I can. Woohoo, we're going fast. I don't want this thing to go on forever. I want to get it to you. You know, some of you may be working late Sunday night when this is coming up. But I'm going to go in here. And I got a little bit of overlap there. So I made a mistake there. So I want to paint now with the white to get rid of that. So I'm going to hit my X key, switches it from black to white. And I can fix that. Hit the X key again, make my cursor a little smaller. And I come down here. Again on my head. Again, it gets tricky, and there's you know, as we go further into this assignment, we'll see different ways where we can modify the hair in the there a little better than what I'm doing right now. But we're going here. What I want to do is make this really small and select this little area inside my glasses. There's going to be another way to do that, and I'm going to show you that in a second. So I'll do a Command Z. I have my History tool. I go to Window, History, and I'm going to go back up a pencil. Because Photoshop will only let me go one step, with the History tool, we can choose more than one step. So again, I'm going to hit my X key just to paint out this little bit that's getting my face there. Back to X key, so now I'm painting with black again, which is actually this red. Make my brush a little bigger. So as we're doing this, we're always making little adjustments, changing things, and as better you get with Photoshop, the better you'll see, the more comfortable you get with it. I'm painting with white now, just taking a little bit off my face. X again, going painting with black, and we'll see how that goes. So I got that going. Pan up, paint this in here, get some shirt. Around here. So let's see what I have going on. I'm going to finish this up on the top. Take a little bit in here. Okay, so then back to my paint bucket. Fill in here, fill in there. And so I got all this painted. I'm going to select this again. Now that's all selected. Now with this all selected, this is a tricky part. I want to choose my magic wand tool. I'm going to hold the shift key, because if I don't hold the shift key, I'll lose this selection here. You can always get it back by using my history or Control Z, but I'm going to use this. I'm going to select there and select there. So I've got that area in between my glasses selected also. To be safe, I'm going to save this original one, and I'm going to duplicate this layer. This is my face copy. I'll say OK, and I'll turn off one of them. I'll do this one. So with this selected, so I have the original one I did the liquify tool on. I have this liquify tool one, just in case this doesn't work too well. It's always back up. So what I want to do is hit the delete key, and I'm deleting out the background. So boom, 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 my background's deleted. And now I can go try to find a background that I want to put in behind me to work there. I don't have one handy. I could just make a color card of blue. Let's go green. So I want to make a new layer down here. Create a new layer. This icon down at the bottom. I want to put that underneath my face. Come over, pick a color here. My color selection. Let's go in hue. Maybe a green color. I'm shooting on green screen today. Say OK. Use my paint bucket. I'm going to do a Command D to deselect. This whole area is selected. And you can see I do have a little artifacts of things not working exactly there. But you could bring any background in Photoshop or JPEG and put it in behind yourself and do it. So that's a simpler way of doing it. This edge is a little hard. It's hard because I never switched out of the pencil tool. I talked about the pencil tool earlier. Should have been painting that in the brush tool. But next time use the brush tool. So any questions, feel free to contact me with my email address, and we'll go further from there. Thanks for listening.